Keshav, provide some interesting information about yourself, which is not covered in this tab.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have been living in district Fatehabad of Haryana. I'm currently pursuing Masters in Economics from Punjab University, Chandigarh. Sir, this is my second attempt at UPSC and my first interview. Sir, I think rest of the information about me is provided in the tab.
Keshav, discuss or rather highlight 3 values that anchors your personality.
Sir, I think I am a self-motivating person. In different situations, sir, I rather looking for external motivation. I rely basically on my internal self. Second thing, sir, I think I am quite empathetic towards persons, towards my surrounding, because I think I can understand the problems of the people at a very basic level and try to solve them to the best of my capabilities and resources. So third, I think I am very simple in my approach. I do not like to make things complex and like to come up with simple solutions. So I think these 3 values basically define me. Yes, sir.
Keshav, have you ever visited any primary healthcare center?
Yes, sir, I have visited, sir.
Can you throw some light on the structure of a primary healthcare center?
Sir, in terms of structure, sir, I guess
Administrative structure.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is sub-primary center, basically at the lowest level. And above that, there is primary health center. And above that, there is a district hospital that is funded by the government. So, sir, I'm not sure about the basic structure as of now, but I think the hierarchy starts from the sub-center at primary level.
Okay. Have you ever visited a primary school?
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. I visited it a while back during my involvement in ASER survey in 2018. Sir, it was in Punjab, Mohali district. So that was a way long back, around 3 years ago, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So in Fatehabad, you come from Fatehabad?
Yes, sir.
In Fatehabad, yes, what is the composition of the midday meal plate? What are the ingredients that are put in that plate?
Sir, I am not exactly aware about the components, but I know the broad things which are provided in the midday meal. Sir, it includes chapati, dal. The students are given fruits in weekly basis, and fortified rice is included recently in the meal of the students. Apart from that, iron supplementation in terms of protein bars are given, and sir, I think these things are provided, sir.
Keshav, you are a student of economics, and economics
Yes,
was also your optional subject.
Yes, sir.
A very important approach which is followed in economics is the cost-benefit approach.
Yes, sir.
Highlight 3 major limitations of this approach.
Okay, sir. Sir, can I explain it through an example?
Yes, go ahead.
If you permit. Sir, I was reading about the GEM portal that government is using for procurement of goods and services. And over the years, we are following L1 principle that is basically based on cost. So we are basically seeing the the people who can supply the goods at the lowest cost, and we are giving tenders to those people. But many studies have shown that the cost is not reflecting the quality aspect of the goods. In terms of cost, we are losing on the aspects like quality in terms of the goods which are provided. So I think the strictly following cost benefit analysis in terms of monetary aspects is quite outdated in the today's context. Rather, different other parameters which may increase cost but raises the efficiency of the system are should be included. And sir, the economic survey has also highlighted that we should go towards quality come cost based analysis of the things, so that cost factor should not be weighted much. Uh, so I think I'm able to explain this. Sir.
Okay. Uh,
Yes, sir.
Keshav, have you heard about treaty shopping?
Sir, I have a broad idea about it. Sir, it is a practice which is used by many foreign direct investment companies to who usually park their funds in tax haven countries like Mauritius, Singapore, in order to get the tax benefits. And through that, by registering in those companies, they usually shift the money to the India and get the benefit of taxation. So I think that is basically the idea of treaty shopping, which is being done.
Keshav, is that treaty shopping or round tripping?
Sorry, sir. That is round tripping, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
What is treaty shopping?
Sir, I have to read about it, sir.
Okay. Have you heard about credit default swaps? Have you heard about credit default swaps?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, credit default swaps are basically an instrument which is used by commercial banks and central banks sometimes, in which they give guarantee to the borrowers. Sorry, sir, I have to read about it, sir. I'm not able to formulate it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you heard about sovereign bonds? Have you heard about them? Sovereign bonds?
Yes, sir.
Now, how these bonds are rated? Do you have any idea? And who
sir,
rates
I
them?
think, sir, there are many credit rating agencies like Moody's and sir, they basically rate it on the basis of various parameters, like what is the credit worthiness of the creditor, what are the repaying capacity of the borrower. So there are many parameters. So sovereign bonds basically are those bonds which are issued by the sovereign authorities like governments in order to finance their expenditures as well as investments, infrastructure projects. So that is the basic idea, sir.
Okay. You talked about the Moody's. According to the Moody's,
Yes,
what is the present rating of Indian sovereign bonds?
Sir, I think it is not very good. It is it is one grade above the lowest level, I guess. And the issue has also been highlighted by last year economic survey that they are not taking into account the fundamentals of our economy and rating our bonds and credit worthiness. So I'm not sure about the exact grade, sir.
Keshav, your mother tongue is Hindi, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So frame a slogan in Hindi that promotes scientific temper.
Okay. Sorry, sir. I am not able to think about it.
Okay. Keshav, what is your biggest weakness?
Sir, my biggest weakness is, sir, I sometimes expect a lot of things from others, and that sometimes leads to not achieving the goals which I expect from others. And sir, I think one biggest weakness, I guess, is the fear of public speaking in me. That I am, a part of it. I am working on it, and a part is still there. So I think this is my biggest weakness. Yes, sir.
Keshav, imagine that you are the district collector and your
Yes, sir.
present posting is in Fatehabad.
Yes,
That
sir.
is where you are posted. And one day you learn that there are few people in the district who are engaged in human trafficking.
Okay, sir.
They are human traffickers. Now you get the information and you also know about their whereabouts. It means you know where they are located at this moment. Highlight 3 steps that you will take immediately. Not long-term steps, immediate steps.
So my first step would be to coordinate with the superintendent of police in the district. I will share the information, whatever information I have got. So the second step would be uh, to uh, to understand whether the information which is being provided is correct or not, because sometimes
Shouldn't that be
misinformation
the
also.
first step?
Sir, I think if the scope of action is quite small, like reaction time is quite small, so we will not be getting time to correct the information. So we have to first uh, give that information to the police authorities.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay, go
so the
ahead.
second
Third.
step would be to coordinate with the departments like who are engaged in social development and rehabilitation, so that if the people who are found true of trafficking, the people can be rehabilitated. Sir, the third thing would be to create the awareness among the people, so that for long run there can be no issue of this kind, and the people can directly report to the police authorities rather than going to the district administration first.
Okay. Keshav, what makes you happy?
So what makes me,
Happy.
sorry, sir?
Happy.
Sir, achieving my daily targets uh, and basically listening music, sir.
Hmm.
This is the two things, sir. I think which makes me happy
Who
on
is
a
a
daily
leader?
basis. Sir, leader is a person who has a vision, both in terms of short-term priorities and long-term vision also. A leader is a person who motivates others in order to undertake the goals of the organization. A leader is a person who has a positive attitude towards things and makes others feel that they belong to one community. So I think the leader has these qualities.
Okay. Thank you, Keshav.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear.
Okay, good. Keshav, you just now said you talked about who is a leader,
Yes,
right?
sir.
I would want to know, can you spell out 5 characteristics of a leader that you look for in a person you admire as a leader?
Okay, sir. Sir, the first important thing that I look in a leader is a vision and a positive attitude towards things, because he's something the people look forward to, and they try to emulate or follow the path of the teachings of a leader. Sir, second, I think a leader must have an exemplary behavior. He should set examples which can be seen by the public or the his subordinates as something to be followed. So third, I think positivity is very important, because a leader is someone who should be positive at every time, and he should motivate others. So fourth thing, I think he should give credit to his subordinates at on their success, and take responsibility when the things are not going as per the plan. Uh, Sir, these qualities, sir, I think leaders should have.
Well, Keshav, don't you think leaders should also have physical and moral courage and also humility as very, very important characteristics?
Yes, sir. Sir, I do think so. These qualities are very important, sir.
Okay, good. Uh, Keshav, can you tell me what is the meaning of the name Keshav?
Sir, if we go through the uh, actual meaning in mythology, it relates to one of the name of Lord Vishnu that we generally call as Keshav. It means Lord Krishna. Uh, Sir, the second
No, I
meaning,
did.
if we go
I
to,
asked what is the meaning?
yes, sir. Sir, the meaning is the person who has shining hair, Keshava. If we go about the Sanskrit and exact meaning about it, sir. Other meanings, sir. If we go through the mythology, Sir Keshava was a demon, sir, who was being killed by the Lord Krishna. So after his name, the Keshi demon. So after his name, the we call Lord Krishna as Keshava. So that is the two in
Okay, you
relationship.
said your date of birth is the 26th of February.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any idea as to what is this day celebrated worldwide?
Sorry, sir. I have not looked about it, sir.
Okay. Which is your most favorite piece of dressing? If I were to say trousers, which
Yes.
material which material do you prefer?
Sir, in trousers, sir, I usually do not wear trousers. I wear denim jeans. So I think a mixture of nylon and cotton is the something which I prefer in clothing.
Okay, you talked about jeans. So can you now get make a guess as to what is this day celebrated worldwide as?
Sir, I can have a guess, sir. If I'm not wrong, sir, it can be World's Textile Day or something like that, sir.
Have you heard of the name Levi Strauss?
Sorry, sir.
Levi Strauss.
No, sir, sir. No, I have not heard.
Okay. This happens to be the birthday of Levi Strauss, and that is why this is called as the Levi Strauss Day.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Uh, do you have any idea of anybody whom you share the date of birth with?
No, sir.
You,
I have
you,
not.
you,
No idea, sir.
you are doing your MA in economics. So a hint,
Yes, sir.
RBI,
No,
and
sir. I have not getting it.
okay. Anybody from Haryana who made India very proud in the Tokyo Olympics, also having the same birthday? Any idea?
Sir, javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra, sir.
His
But
date of
I'm
birth
not
is
sure about his worth it. Yes, sir.
okay. Have you heard of Anadi Gopal Joshi?
No, sir.
Shrimati Anadi Gopal Joshi.
No idea, sir.
Okay. You are from Haryana, and people in Haryana prefer a uniform service, right? They're very, very keen. We have a lot of defense stalwarts coming in from Haryana. So, why then have you given IPS and the police services such low preference in your order of preference?
Sir, I believe that given my education background and my skills, sir, I think I would be able to perform much better if I land up into Indian Administrative Services or Indian Revenue Services or IFSP per se. Sir, I have no bias for Indian Police Service as such because it's a great service and it's contributing a lot to the our society and country. But I think I would be doing more justice to other services if I get into them, due to the reason that I have pursued economics and I would be able to use those skills much better in those fields.
Because you are going ahead and you're doing your masters in economics, I would want to know how do you think you would put into use your knowledge of economics as a civil servant?
Sir, economics, I think, sir, it is used in multiple sectors. In civil service, sir, I think uh, there is always a problem of limited resources at hand. And I think efficient utilization of resources is something which is basic to the economics, and that I think will be able to do if I get into the service. So, second thing is about the how to analyze things from the perspective of economics in terms of economic consequences of policies and how the policies are being framed in the perspective of monetary phenomena. So I think I would be able to implement much better the schemes of the government, their intention in terms of utilization of funds. So I think economics would be very helpful, sir. I would in civil services.
Okay, tell me, you've done your a bit in national service scheme. Uh,
Yes, sir.
how do you think this would help you in performance of your duties as a civil servant? What are the lessons that you have learned during this service that will be of use to you in the performance of your civil servant duties?
Sir, the basic aim of national service scheme, sir, I think it is about others and not us. The motto basically says it's you, not me. So I guess if we put people first,
Can can
uh,
can you repeat the motto once again? What you said?
sir, it's you, not me,
Are you
sir.
sure that is the motto?
Sir, sir, I'm not very sure, sir, but it's on these lines, sir, that the people should be first, and after that you come. So the basic
Okay.
idea is to take people in at their priority. So I think in administration, sir, I guess this is very important because at the end of the day, we are working for the people, and that is something we have to cherish in administration. And also, sir, I believe national service scheme has provided me a sense of a sense of habit to get interaction with the people uh, without knowing them. So due to some activities which we had done in school campus, like distributing clothes to the underprivileged people, participating in the parade as well. So all these activities in a way have some impact on me that I think will be able to utilize in the administration.
As you said, this helps you develop a sense of social responsibility. I agree. Uh, on account of this, do you think that NSS should be made compulsory in the schools and colleges?
Sir, I think it should be the choice of person who is. It should not be compulsory from my point of view because except for NSS, we have NCC also, sir. Some students who think that they are more physically fit and they want to pursue such activities, they go for NCC, and those who have some inclination towards social welfare, so basically they go for NSS. So I think there should be choice between that should be given to the students, but in a way, sir, it is very important, and uh, gradually we can look forward making it compulsory at the school level.
Okay, in just one sentence, can you tell me what is the difference between NCC and NSS? Just one sentence.
So the National Cadets Corps, it is NCC. It is based on the it is more of a on the lines of uh, the role of military and cadet corps. But NSS in NSS, that is more of a social activities which are done at the by the people.
Thank you, Keshav.
Hello, sir.
Keshav, you are from Fatehabad.
Yes, sir.
Have you been to Humayun's Mosque in Fatehabad?
Sir, I have heard about it, but have not been there, sir, yet.
Can you tell me about something about the architecture of Humayun Mosque in Fatehabad?
Sir, going through the picture, sir, I have seen that a red sandstone is being used in the construction of that mosque. And sir, it has a dome which is motivated through the Tughlaq architecture. Sir, uh, sir, sir, these all features that I can think of right now.
Okay. What is the current
Yes,
child
sir.
sex ratio of Fatehabad?
Sir, it is. Sir, I am not sure about the child sex ratio, sir, but it is below the average of Haryana, sir.
What is the adult sex ratio of Fatehabad?
Sir, it is a 902, sir.
Are you sure on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Economics has been your optional. Tell me,
Yes, sir.
what policies government should pursue to realize the ideals of capitalism in mind and socialism in heart?
Okay, sir. Uh, Sir, I think the idea of first pushing for growth and then redistribution is something on those lines. The policies which basically pursue these ideas are going to promote capitalism as well as promoting socialism. Sir, we are seeing in terms of the PM Gati Shakti, which has been announced in our budget recently. The idea is to increase the capital expenditure that promotes growth, that increases the size of the pie, and later we can use that pie to redistribute among the people in the areas like health, education. So, in that way, socialism will be realized as well as capitalism will be also taken care of.
Okay, name three products of Fatehabad which you would like to market under the government's agenda of vocal for local.
Okay, sir. Sir, some products, sir, I think the first is Khadi, sir. It has a lot of potential when it comes to Fatehabad. It has a rich history. So I believe Khadi can be a very good product in promotion of MSME sector. So the second, I guess, the toys sector, sir. The toys, traditional toys are quite popular here. So that can also be the second product. Sir, third, I think the fabric products, sir, which are made up of cotton, because since Fatehabad lies in the cotton belt, and I think that these three products can be marketed, sir.
Okay. Design for me a slogan for promotion of Khadi in Hindi.
Okay, sir. Uh, mm, sir, sir, it would be like uh, बापू को याद करना, खादी को uh, खादी को याद करना. Sir, it can be like that, sir.
Okay. Or it could be बापू को याद करना, खादी को पहनना.
Yes, sir, it can be, sir. I just try to rhyme it, sir.
Oh, not an issue.
Yes, sir.
Your hobbies
Yes, sir.
segment mentions that you have an interest in teaching elementary economics.
Yes,
You have
sir.
done your graduation in economics as well,
Yes,
and
sir.
masters also in economics. So don't you think you are
Yes,
more
sir.
suitable as an economics teacher rather than as a civil servant?
Sir, I think economics is something which I enjoy reading and teaching. But from the point of view of long-term career options, sir, I believe I would not be doing justice to this in teaching. Sir, I think teachers do play a very important role, and when it comes to teaching, I do enjoy it. But as of now, sir, I want to pursue civil services and give my best. And if I do not get civil services, then I think in long term I would be pursuing academics also.
Okay, why civil services? Give me two specific reasons.
Sir, the first is the nature of work, sir, because it provides me the opportunity to work in various sectors, which I think no other service or no other private job provides. Sir, the second thing I think the kind of job satisfaction, if we look from the perspective of long horizon, a long period of 20, 30 years of career, sir, I think after a point of time, sir, I think I would be wanting such kind of satisfaction by helping people and doing some social work. So I think these two kind of things I've realized that if I get early, so I would be able to do justice.
Okay, what is your biggest weakness?
Yes, sir. Sir, my biggest weakness, sir, is expecting a lot of things from others. So I expect a lot of things when I am involved in something. So that is something I am working upon. So this is my biggest weakness, sir.
Okay, one last question from my side. Any
Yes, sir.
specific reasons towards your biasness for Northeast, as you have filled it and as fifth preference in zonal preferences?
No, sir, there is no bias as such. It is just because I had to give the preferences, and I prefer North India because of the similarity in culture. But if I get the Northeast also, sir, I would be definitely working there also.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Keshav, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
One final question there before we wind up this thing. Suppose you have the opportunity to give 3 suggestions to the Honorable Prime Minister. What these
Okay,
3
sir.
suggestions would be. Just highlight those suggestions.
Sir, the first would be to revive MSME sector and
Okay.
focus on MSME. So second, I think I would be giving him recommendation for improving the sir. Sir, can I take some while to think about it, sir?
Okay, just go ahead. What's coming in your mind, just go with it. MSME, just
Okay,
name
sir.
2 more.
Okay, sir. The second would be women empowerment, and
Third?
the third would be health infrastructure, sir.
Oh.
That should be made robust.
Okay. Thank you, Keshav. Your interview is over. We will reconnect with you in some time for your feedback. Stay connected. Hear me?
Yes, sir. I can.
Keshav, before we begin the feedback session, I would like you to assess your own performance. And if you have to rate yourself on a scale of 10, where would you place yourself?
Sir, I think I didn't know many of the questions from DAF only. Sir, I have to work on some terminologies of economics, like terms like credit default, swap, and all those things. So second, I think I have to increase my pitch some things because I think I am I am speaking very politely. The pitch should be increased. Sir, that is basically, sir. But I will grade myself at 6 or 5 marks out of 10. It was below average, sir.
Okay. Keshav, first we must understand here that this is not a test of your knowledge. Your knowledge has already been tested in prelims and mains, and you have done well. That's why you have got this call for the interviews, right? It's a test of your personality. Though we call it interviews, but UPSC calls it personality test. It's a test of your personality. What is being tested here is that what kind of values do you hold? What are the virtues in your character? Whether you have any kind of prejudice, biasness, stereotypes. Do you respect the constitutional values? Are you a good listener? Do you respond or you react? When you make opinions, are you balanced in your opinions? Are you inclined towards a particular political or economic ideology? Are you one who can engage with multiple stakeholders? Do you have the power of persuasion? In total,
Okay,
this
sir.
is being tested that whether you can be trained or not. And when trained,
Right.
will you be an asset for the administration or not? Will you help in the delivery of social justice, or you will become an impediment in the path of social justice delivery?
Right,
Do you
sir.
understand that? So let me talk about the good things first. Is you are very well dressed for the occasion. You are very decent, very polite. Some of your answers were very good. Like one answer which I particularly liked, where you tried to draw a balance between capitalism and socialism. So that was a good answer. But this is a critical analysis here. So let me highlight those areas where I need there is ample scope for improvement. First,
Yes, sir.
this is a very formal affair and it's a mock drill, right? And you must take it very sincerely. What I can see is I feel that you have not shaved.
Yes, sir.
And this is a very important affair. On such a day, you should shave, because even the soldiers who are meticulously trained, they go for full dress rehearsal before they
Yes, sir.
take the
I
center
will
stage on
definitely.
26th of January, right? That's the first thing. Second, you have correctly realized yourself that the pitch of the voice was terribly low. There was no voice modulation, and you were speaking more or less in a monotonous way. So the listening becomes very non-interesting.
Mhm.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So you must use some voice modulation. If there is something of concern, that should be reflected on your face. If it is something said on a lighter tone, there should be a smile on your face. The smile was almost absent throughout the interview. It lightens the mood in the room, and then the panelists, they feel good and they ask you simple questions, as simple as that, right? Then
Yes, sir.
the very first question which I asked you, provide some interesting information about yourself which is not covered in the DAF. You said everything that is covered in the DAF.
Yes, sir.
It means you are not
I
listening to
should.
the problem.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you understand that?
Okay, sir.
Suppose you are a civil
Yes, sir.
servant and some section of the population approaches you with their own problem. You're not listening to their problems then. Do you get it, Keshav? So that aspect of
Yes,
your
sir.
personality was reflected at that point. Then rightly realized by you that you need to polish your knowledge in economics, read about treaty shopping, credit default swap, and all those kind of core concepts of economics, right? Apart from the application part. Then primary healthcare center, primary school, midday meal, you should know about these things. So try to learn about these things. Then some opportunities would be given in the interview to you wherein you can score big. Like say, for example, a slogan. I asked you frame a slogan in Hindi that would promote scientific temper.
Yes,
आप
sir.
कुछ भी बोल सकते थे. जैसे चलिए विज्ञान की ओर कुछ भी बोल सकते थे आप. ठीक
Okay,
है.
okay, sir.
It doesn't matter that the slogan has to rhyme or it has to be very attractive. Just make something. Suppose there is a meeting going on and your senior asks a suggestion from you. आप बोलोगे नहीं मैं अभी तो नहीं बता सकता. तो अगले बार नहीं पूछने वाले आपसे. Do you get it?
ठीक है, sir.
Cost benefit analysis. Again, I asked you 3 shortcomings of the cost benefit analysis. You started explaining the cost benefit analysis, and then 2 things that you explained, you stretched them so much so that you forgot the third shortcoming. So try to do that. The answers were terribly long, and why they were long? First, you were building the background for the answer. Then after answering, you were giving justification why you have given this answer, even if when it was not asked. When sir asked you a question about what are the 3 things that could be promoted, then you said khadi, toys, fabric, but you did not name them 1, 2, 3. Just tell if it is asked 3 things, then just say 3 things. And then if you want to explain, you can seek permission. But sir, can I explain why I have, or can I elaborate with your kind permission why I have chosen these articles? That would reflect a good aspect of your personality, right? So again, in the last question, when I asked you, you said MSME, and then you said, I want to think over this. So if you want to think over this, ask for permission upfront, not midway.
Okay.
The same thing you did with the credit default swap also. Started talking about RBI, and then suddenly you realized you are on the wrong trajectory. You said that, sir, presently I am not aware. So it means here is one person who starts answering and then midway withdraws. And
Yes, sir, I
suppose
have to
if you are
work
the
on
district
this.
collector, on every word of yours, there could be an action. There could be a ripple effect. So everything that you
Yes, sir.
speak has to be first thought of comprehensively, and then you speak your mind, right? Now, Keshav, these are the things where I think you need improvement. Other members will now give their feedback, and after that, you can ask your questions, and finally, I will disclose your score, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Keshav.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Keshav, now all the good things have been said. I will not want to repeat them. But what I would want to, like you said, the pitch was low. Now let me add, not only was your pitch very low, your pace of speech also was very, very slow.
Okay, sir.
So the pace of the speech also has to be a little faster because, there has to be a particular limit that you have to set for yourself. I have to speak these many words per minute. Now I think you were falling short of that also, woefully short. So
Okay, sir.
that is also making your answers very long. Now, I don't know why, but is this the first interview that you are giving in your life?
Yes, sir. It's my second interview, sir.
Second interview for the civil services
service.
or second interview
Sir.
for in your life?
Sir, it is my second interview in my life as well as a mock interview, sir.
Okay, now is that the reason why you were so apprehensive?
Mm-hmm.
I could see stress written all over your face. इतनी ज़्यादा stress थे आप कि in the beginning I thought I saw a smile on your face. अभी भी मुझे smile दिख रही है. But then subsequently that was missing throughout the duration of the interview. Now,
Okay,
as
sir.
said very rightly, this is not a test of knowledge at all. Yes, you may get a feeling that yes, this is a test of knowledge. It may be, but it actually is not. Knowledge test हो
Okay, sir.
चुका है आपका. यहाँ पे it is only your personality. You will be grilled. Maybe you are saying I don't know, but yet a question is being asked on the same subject again. You are again saying I don't know. Again, it is being asked on the same subject to see whether how you respond to that particular situation. Get the point?
Okay, sir.
So
Yes, sir, I
make
got it.
sure that you don't be apprehensive, don't be stressed. If you are under stress, you are making things much worse for yourself. You are writing
Okay.
failure all over yourself. Don't do that. Be happy about it. Be very comfortable. Be relaxed. Enjoy the session.
Okay, sir.
And if you are going
Definitely,
to do
sir.
that, then obviously, you are not going to be stressed. And if you're not going to be stressed, you will have a smile on your face. If you have a smile on your face, you will make the environment friendly. And when you make the environment friendly, the questions that are going to be asked to you also are going to be environment friendly in that room.
Okay, sir. Sir, I will take care of it, sir.
Please, yes. And see, all these inputs that we are giving you are those inputs which you are aware of, but which you have probably at some time or the other you have forgotten about them, or you may have overlooked them. So that is why we are bringing out the small points which will add a lot of marks to your final score.
Definitely, sir.
And let me tell you that they can even add as much as maybe 20, 25, 30 marks to your ultimate performance. So that's why we are giving you all this feedback. You seem to be very, very informal at times. Very, very informal. When the
Okay,
question
sir.
was asked, at least on 2 or 3 occasions, you said, okay, sir. Right? Then you use the word I think very often. You use the word like very, very often. Avoid use of these things.
Okay.
And in one instance, you even went to the extent of saying, I think I am able to prove what I wanted to say. Something like that. I think I am able to prove what I said. Don't make
Okay,
it
sir.
such an informal. It is not an informal affair at all. It is a very, very formal affair which is going to set the ball rolling for your career thereafter.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Your career depends upon this. Don't make it informal. Let that formality remain. Don't let it become informal at all. Then answers were very, very long. On 2 instances, did you note I had to cut you short?
Okay, sir.
And if that happens, it is not a very good sign, let me tell you. If you are being interjected or if you are being stopped in between, that means something is wrong with your answer. Your answers are terribly, terribly long. So that should not happen at all. The meaning of your name, you gave a wonderful explanation. But remember, I asked you the meaning of the name. I did not ask you who is called Keshav.
Okay, sir.
Right? So there was a misunderstanding of that question also. Then I asked you about NSS. I never asked you the motto. Did I?
Sir,
I
I
never.
try to justify the
Yes.
part of the question
Yes.
through
Correct.
that motives. Yes, sir.
Correct. But that motto was wrong.
Yes, sir.
So if you are not sure about the motto, why bring it out? I have not even asked you the motto. You bring it out yourself and then you give me a wrong motto. The motto is not me, but you.
Yes, sir.
Right? So remember that. So don't mess up on details that you are giving to us. Then I saw, there was a lack of energy. When I say you were apprehensive, it showed in your energy also. Energy was missing. Eye contact was not there. Now I can understand that this is a live online thing. It is different from a live interview. We can see what's happening. Here you are looking only at the screen, so we can't. But then, your eyes should not be moving left, right, center, here, there, up and bottom. No. You should be looking at the person who's asking the question. Isn't it?
Okay, sir.
So your
Yes,
eyes
sir.
were moving all over and that was not right. Remember about the eye contact. When the person is asking a question, you're looking at him primarily. And when you're giving an answer, when you have been asked a question, you're looking only at the person who's asked you the question. And when you're answering, you're primarily looking at the person who's asked you the question. But in between, 20 to 30% of the time, steal glances, soft glances with all the panelists. They should not feel let out, right? So that is the purpose of your eye contact. Then couple of times you took a long time to think without even taking permission. Never do that.
Okay.
After the question is over, wait for maybe 2 or 2.5, 3 seconds and then start your answer. But if you have to take a longer time than that, then please take permission before doing that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And your knowledge of date of birth was totally inadequate. You did not know what this day celebrated, your date of birth celebrated as. You did not know the name of some people who celebrate the date of birth as you. I asked you about Anadi Gopal Joshi. Now, this is something which you should have known because she was the first Indian doctor, lady doctor in India.
Okay,
And this
sir.
happened to be her death anniversary. So, if you know about that person also, so it counts. Veer Savarkar, it was his death anniversary also on the same day. So have an idea about your date of birth. It's very, very important. Now, and lastly, you said, one of my weaknesses, fear of public speaking. If your fear of public speaking is a weakness, then my dear friend, all your life you will have to be only doing public speaking. Right? So
Yes,
please
sir. Yes, sir.
Don't. It may be a weakness, but don't please highlight this weakness. This is not a weakness that you're supposed to highlight because this is something which has to be your strength.
Okay.
Public speaking has to be your strength. Think of something else.
Definitely, sir.
Right? Something better which you can explain as a matter of routine. You are fond of jogging.
Right,
You can say that I am very fond of jogging, but at times I tend to, exceed my limit. Good enough.
Yes, sir.
I am a very big foodie. At times I don't take care of my health. Something like that. But
yes, sir.
Public speaking, definitely no.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So all these inputs are being given to you with the intention that you should get selected on the day when you go for the interview. When is the interview, by the way?
Sir, it's on 23rd of May.
You have more than a month's time. More than a
Yes,
month's time. So you have adequate time to prepare for it. Speak in front of the mirror. Record yourself if required on a video and listen to yourself on and on, and you will come to know where you are messing up. Right?
Okay,
and
sir.
correct these shortfalls. And I can assure you, you have come so far in your second attempt. Don't let this occasion be lost out. Make the most
Definitely,
of this
sir.
occasion, and whatever inputs have been given to you will help you in a very, very big way in making you achieve your dreams. All the very best, Keshav.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, Keshav.
Yes, sir.
Keshav, your answers for why IPS has your low preference, that was good. Should we make
Okay.
NSS compulsory or not? That was good. Capitalism in mind, socialism in heart. That was good. Why civil services, zonal preference answer. Everything is good. But see, this is a test of personality and not knowledge.
Mhm.
Some personality improvements are required, Keshav, especially on voice. As rightly pointed out, your voice was very low. You require voice modulation, and you have to show enthusiasm. I don't know why, but the
Definitely.
enthusiasm was missing throughout the interview. What was the reason?
So I think it may be due to the mode of the conversation, sir. I think because and this was not felt by the previous interviews, sir. I thought because the energy was quite high in offline mode. So
Okay.
there was also I thought it would be go like very high if I speak louder. So that was also a reason I was compressing my voice to a lower level. So I think these
Okay.
may be, but I will definitely work on it, sir.
Work on this and try to show some enthusiasm, and never ever speak about a weakness which is not desired, such as you mentioned that you have fear of public speaking. That should not at all be mentioned. And
Okay,
at
sir.
some places you were repeating questions, like when asked about what makes you happy, you
Mm-hmm.
repeated the question, what makes me happy? Yes, this makes me
Mm-hmm.
happy. So no need to
Okay,
repeat
sir.
question. Your
ठीक
knowledge
है सर.
about Fatehabad was bit lacking. Improve on that. Whenever you search about Fatehabad, Humayun's mosque shines on search
Mm-hmm.
results, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you were not well versed with the architecture and other things about Humayun's mosque. So read about it. Read about the demography, literacy rate, sex ratio, employment, everything
Mm-hmm.
about Fatehabad. They might be asked,
Definitely.
right?
Yes, sir.
And primary health centers and midday meal knowledge was also lacking on your part.
Yes, sir.
So work on this front, and you are in this time. That is
Okay.
my feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Keshav,
Yes, sir.
Keshav, now you can ask your questions here before I disclose your score.
Sir, I have to ask about the basic pause which is required in delivery of the answer. So, in what time the pause should be taken,
Okay.
and for like.
Keshav, when the question is complete, do not start your
Yes, sir.
answer immediately. Just wait for 2 to 3 seconds, not more than that, because there
Okay.
could be a supplementary question or there could be a clarification around that question, which would further assist you in answering. And after that,
Okay,
you
sir.
start answering. But suppose somebody interjects, immediately stop. No need of
Mhm.
speaking over the panelist, right? So stop
Okay, sir.
immediately, withdraw, and then again wait. And if you start answering again there is an interjection, stop immediately. That is the courtesy.
So second thing, sir, the basic, sir, the kind of knowledge which is required for the Haryana, sir, basically, sir, to what depth I should go into, sir, because if I am studying about the current affairs, sir, that is also quite hectic because it is quite detailed. So do I
See,
have to go to every current affair or the basic issues which are revolving around Haryana?
okay. Now, first you must know the basics of the state. No compromise on that. Like say, for example, national parks, biodiversity reserves, how many
Yes, sir.
districts, those kind of things, rivers, basic knowledge of Haryana, no compromise on that. And some special knowledge of Fatehabad, because that's your hometown, right?
Yes, sir.
History, culture, cuisine, economy, everything, and especially economy. After that,
Okay,
what
sir.
you can do is you can go to the Haryana government different ministries websites and just look at the important schemes that are being operationalized, and with special focus on those schemes which have Fatehabad in their fold.
ठीक ठीक है
That would be enough. If you fall flat on facts, it will not be a matter, because this is not a test of your knowledge, right?
Okay, sir.
In opinion-based
And sir,
questions, never
yes, sir.
fail to answer. Yes, go on.
Sir, one thing about the eye contact thing, sir, because I have a habit to think, to see downward before delivering my question answer. So does it look like okay, or
No.
should I have to maintain the eye contact to the person right from the
No.
start and then?
No. See,
Yeah.
sir also iterated it, and I'm reiterating it. When the question is being asked to you, look towards that person who is asking you the question. Because if suppose you are talking to me and I'm looking somewhere else, that would be a sign of disrespect. And
No, sir, my
you will
question
not
is,
appear like
sir,
a non-attentive person. Yes, hear me out, dear.
Yes, sir.
So,
So my question is, sir, when I have listened the question.
yes, I got your question, Keshav.
Sir,
I'm giving
after
you the
that,
complete.
sir, yes, sir.
I'm giving you the complete analysis, dear. Have patience. I'm saying
Yes, sir.
that once the question is done, then when you are starting to answer, and if you're thinking, you can slightly lower your gaze. No need of putting your head down. That's lack of confidence. Slightly lowering of the gaze means that you're thinking, processing, right? That you can do. Do not go down like this. Slightly lower the gaze. That would be right way of thinking. Do not think by looking into someone's eyes. In that way, you would it would appear to that person as if you are confused.
I understand, sir. Sir, that's all, sir. I had to ask.
Okay, so you assessed yourself as
Yes,
average
Yes, sir.
today on
Below
basis of
average.
today's performance. Yes. So if suppose if you have to rate on a scale of 10, you said 5. That's what
Yes,
you will
sir.
give yourself. 5 to 6. That's what you said, right?
Yes, sir.
So 5 to 6. Let's take 5.5. That's 55%. How
Yes,
many
sir.
marks? For how many marks the interview is being conducted? What is the
Sir,
total score?
so 275 marks, sir, I guess.
275. If you take 55%, that's 150. And
Yes, sir.
exactly 150 is what we have awarded.
Okay, sir.
It's, to be more precise, it is 150.25, but forget that 0.25. So this is what
Yes,
we
sir.
have awarded you. If you work on these areas, just you can add 30 more marks to your performance.
Oh.
And anything beyond 180 is a bonus. 180 is bare minimum if you want to go into the Indian administrative services.
Yes,
With
sir.
these marks, you can go into the services, but the chances of getting Indian administrative services becomes a little bit tough. But if you get 180 plus, then your chances are smooth, provided you
Yes,
have
sir, I
written your
understand.
mains examination well.
Yes, sir.
Right?
I understand. Definitely,
Okay,
sir. I
Keshav.
will work upon these things.
Okay.
Sir,
All the best.
Thank
dear.
you for such a good experience, sir. Thanks a lot.
All the best, Keshav.
Thank you,
All
sir.
the very best, Keshav.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.